What's up, YouTube? What's up, Xtreme Gainz family? I'm Chuck. This is Xtreme Gainz. I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I say is or ever will be financial advice. Please do not take it as such. Today is Thursday, May 26, 2022. This is the Amc Gme and SPY Algo exposed daily update and preparation video for tomorrow, TGIFF and beyond. As always, I hope you had a great day in the market today, and I hope you were able to make some extreme gains for yourselves. I'm going to go over all the regulars that I always go over here, my snake algos for all three tickers, and some macro comparatives. So with that said, let's dig in. Real quick, my extreme gains today. On my 7 tickers that I set scalp ideas up on every one of them, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 entry from trigger today. The highest, crazy day today. The highest being 275%, a 220%, 140%, 110%, an 80%, and a couple 20%. Stupid, crazy, extreme gains day today. GME took off like a bat out of hell again this morning. Up another 20-something% prior to the pullback. AMC ran up prior to a pullback and consolidation here this afternoon. So crazy day to the upside and opportunities to make gains all over the place. SPY as well, up 2% today, like it got shot out of a cannon this morning. So that is my day today. I hope yours was good as well. All right, let's dig into these charts. Bear with me too, y'all. I just got done mowing grass for the last, almost 3 hours, 2 hours and 40 minutes. I'm soaking wet, sweating and dirty, and I want to get this done here real quick, so I'm going to try to buzz through. So stay with me. All right, the intra-week snakes for AMC. Oh, shit. I forgot to show you the micro intraday. See, I'm in too much of a hurry. The micro intraday snake algo on AMC and on SPY on their intraday 5-minute chart are as you see it. SPY from open to close again. 3-piece today. They spun this last portion at the end of the day. So 3-piece today from open and close. Real clean again, almost candle for candle. AMC had a piece that I could have, but it was for the morning from the open to 10 a.m., but it was a 10 a.m. placement, a 2-piece on AMC today. After the move up, the 2-piece covered the pullback and consolidation after the move up this morning. All right, now the intra-week snakes on AMC. AMC, like I said, after that move to the upside, pulled back and saw some descending consolidation, and it did flatten off and grab a bounce here this afternoon. It finished the day up 2.95% at 12.23, down 0.41 at 12.18 in after hours currently. I said bear with me, I'm telling you. All right, so the intra-week snake, the previous one showing that descending consolidation, is obviously out and invalidated. I went back. A couple different setups I was looking at to get to here. So the one that I have went with obviously is the one that's fulfilling, and that is pulling this previous snake in an extended manner. One of two ways, either into the double bottom here and then going with the inverted, the previous clipped snake here in the bottom inverted, just like I had done back here prior to the reversal that translates to macro. And if I do that, this is the snake that I would be using as my intraday. There is its placement. It did project and fulfill yesterday. And once again, I showed this in last night's video as well. It projected to the upside and fulfilled today as well. Price action up to around the $13 area, just shy of 13. Then the pullback underneath. I have framed in a potential box top here that this would reject down according to one of the macro comparatives, which we'll look at in a second. But in this scenario, if price action were to follow and continue to follow the projection from the snake, it's continuation to upside moving into tomorrow as well, according to this. So we'll see if we get that going into tomorrow. And then obviously after that. If you zoom out and look at this, I showed this briefly last night as well, that would indicate that this W would be fulfilled in its entirety. However, I don't know yet whether or not this would become part of a larger double-double, where this would be the left side of it. The conservative third here would knock this back down for a second W over here for a larger macro double-double before getting a move up to the high risk macro third to the upside. So we'll see how that plays out in the future. We got some time between now and then to see how that ends up landing. The second scenario, snake intraday, would be again using the previous one in an extended manner, the entire thing without cleaning up the tail off of it, and it projects and fulfills clear up into today, and then it does show a potential for a short-term move upside, and then the pullback back down to the macro descending reverse third. And it does appear, it does appear like the pullback would be tomorrow, according to this, if it were to continue to fulfill in that manner. So those are the two setups and scenarios for intra-week snakes that I am looking at going into tomorrow and beyond. The macro comparatives for AMC. The mirrored bullish double-double. The OG macro comparative from the macro descending wedge prior to the January 2021 run-up. I talked to you briefly in last night's video about the mirroring of this bottom. If you have not seen that and you want to see it, please go back for reference. I'm not going to keep covering, I'm going to keep moving here. So here's that mirrored bottom. I talked about it fulfilling in this consolidation area here going into today, staying under that $13 or right around that $12.50 to $13 level. That's exactly what happened here. And here we are getting that fulfillment. I said one, possibly two more 4-hour candles, which we just got today. And then maybe that parabolic move up. Now, looking at this, it does look like we could potentially get two more. Maybe I overshot that or undershot that or underestimated the spacing between these and the pull on that for a comparative with 4-hour candles. But nonetheless, you see it there. If it were to continue to stay under that 13 or right in that 13 to 1250 area and consolidate, and then obviously make that initial parabolic move up according to what this macro comparative shows in that position, then I don't think anybody would be debating whether or not Chuck was off in his spacing between these two. So it looks like two per the candles. So two more 4-hour candles, and then we would be looking at potentially a move up according to the way I have it placed currently. So that's that position of the OG macro. The second position is the position that I had brought to the table this week after reevaluating the chart over the weekend, last weekend. And right here is the position of it. It projects that same move up today, and it fulfilled as well. The wick on the candle does show up to about 1350, but anywhere between that 12 to 1350 or 1250 to 1350 area, and that's where we're consolidating in this ascending manner, just like this one as well. This one does then show rejection and back downside into that eventual second bottom and last bottom prior to the move to the upside, replicating January's move in that fashion. So I'm watching this in those two different ways. Then the other one was the alternate bottom from just next door here, just like GME's is playing out currently. And the position on this that I had was right there, and it fulfilled its projection today as well to the upside, again to right around that 1250 area, and we're up to 13, and then reject downside. So moving into tomorrow from this one, I would be looking for an almost immediate rejection to the downside for most of the day, what appears to be most of the day tomorrow according to this one. So we have the blue bullish, then we have the blue short-term bullish, then pull back into the lower bottom from where we're at. We have the green bearish, rejection and bearish, and then the red one here that I had shown you has invalidated itself with that move to the upside. So the red one is currently off the table. So these are the, I guess what, 1, 2, 3 macro scenarios that do match up similarly to the intra-week snakes that I am looking at for AMC going into tomorrow and beyond. GME. Man, what a day for GME. GME finished the day up 11.54%, currently down 0.36 in after hours at 128. This thing was $88 yesterday morning. $88 yesterday morning. It's $128. It did see an intraday high of $148 per share today. It did make its move up to the macro third that is in here for the macro double-double out of this box top setup. It made its move directly up there. The current snake, intra-week snake for GME is still on the table. The fulfillment of this with the inverted mirroring that I showed you days ago and left it on here for this reason, in case this were to converge back with this, and that's exactly what it has done. It is stepping its way up here. This here does show a potential expiration tomorrow after fulfillment, or obviously diversion from. However, the remaining portion of it shows a sideways consolidation, but then in an ascending manner after that, a move back to the upside potentially according to this, if price action were to continue fulfilling this to its end, and then I would be clipping a new one potentially tomorrow if this thing were to fulfill itself and expire at the same time simultaneously. The macro comparative is from this previous bottom, like I said with AMC, and this thing is playing out as well. I had this on here and showed you this and have been showing you this, and the projection and fulfillment from this has been dead on. Now the movement according to this as a projection into tomorrow looks like some volatility and some consolidation, what appears to be for approximately 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the next 2 weeks ish, according to this, if it were to fulfill itself in the manner in which this macro comparative is showing as a projection. So we'll see if that's what we get, but that's what it's showing in the short term. And then obviously the long term completion of that, if it were to complete in that manner, would complete this macro box top setup and the macro double-double, and then hopefully eventually the move back up to the macro third. That is GME. Excuse me. Last but not least, SPY. SPY, man, opened the day today, took off like a rocket, straight to the upside as soon as market opened. SPY ended the day up an even 2%, currently down 0.03 in after hours at 405.19. Now the macro double right here, the neckline has not been broken yet. It is still there. I have it marked right there at 409.29 or 409.30 would be the breach of that W neckline for a potential macro breakout to the upside. Now the macro comparative is the red from the macro comparative copy of the crash and correction, or correction and crash of 0809 on top of current. I've been tracking this literally every day since I started this channel. I say that in every video. I think everybody gets the hint by now, but where we're at in this, I had talked about this just like this. I kept saying, hey, we're right down here, just like we were here. My expectation is a move back to the upside to get back in line at a minimum with this macro comparative, as it shows this ascending level of consolidation and this round top structure prior to falling off the cliff, and therefore fulfilling what's left of the macro comparative from the 09 crash, or 0809 crash. So that's where we're at within that. We have gotten that movement to the upside in its entirety. Now the intra-week snake, if you remember, was right here. I already cleaned it up today in my Discord. This was the intra-week snake. It projected and fulfilled almost 5 entire weeks, 1 day over 4.5 weeks. And it diverted to the upside, whereas this was showing it back downside. So I clipped the tail off of the unfulfilled portion. This is considered completed. I did clip the day prior to and the day of, like I always do. And right here they are. Here is one. That is the day of divergence. And here is the day prior to divergence. And that is what they look like from a macro perspective. Zooming in on them. If price action were to take up what I'll call the bullish and the bearish. We'll call it bullish and bearish for now. The bullish intra-week potential new snake. It appears to be some consolidation for the next couple days, and then another move to the upside prior to pulling back down in. And then obviously it looks like it goes on a nice bull move to the upside. The other one, the bearish one, zoomed in, appears to be a rejection right from where it's at, from the neckline back to the downside to around the 398, then consolidation for a few days prior to falling down out, potentially back down into the 380. So that's the comparing of the two potential new intra-week snakes. Today is the very first day for them, so it's initial placement. These intra-weeks, as you know, take a minute to get placed, depending upon price action. It's not always the easiest thing to do. I feel good about them right now, but that doesn't mean they won't change. So if and when they do, I will obviously show you on these update and prep videos. But for right now, with the initial placement, that's what I'm looking at. And this one here, if you kind of zoom back and take a look here, I had talked to you. I want to point out two things. I had talked to you potentially about this giant macro crash to crash macro comparative, and how this thing could potentially lead to all-time highs if this macro W were to get put in and then run itself back up here. This is a weekly clip. And that W formation, for the time being, has been fulfilled as a single right here. However, looking at this a little bit, if this new snake to the downside, the bearish one, were to take form, this would be something I'd have to look at as a potential double-double like this. That is something I would look at potentially moving forward. And here is a giant double-double with the weekly as well. So just wanted to throw that in the mix there for those of you that are really staying with me on this stuff. For those of you that aren't, no worries. I just wanted to point that out. But that is what I am looking at with the macro comparative from 0809 and with the current potential new intra-week snakes with initial placement going into tomorrow and beyond. That's everything I have for this video. Everything for AMC, GME, and SPY. Tomorrow is Friday, TGIFF. It is a holiday weekend. There is no trading on Monday. Markets are closed for Memorial Day, so it is a long weekend. The update and prep video, the weekly that I typically put out, I will put out on Monday night, going into market open for Tuesday morning next week. If I do not talk to you all over the weekend, have a blessed, beautiful weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy the extra day off. I know I am, and I will see you all on Monday in the update and prep video. Good luck tomorrow in the markets. Get yourself some extreme gains, and then enjoy your weekend, and I'll talk to y'all on the next one. Later.